a computer. So not sitting in the computer. So you have to go on a canvas. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab this complete, what is a soliloquy worksheet. Copy and paste this. Let me open up the document so you guys have it. All right. So as we go, oh my gosh. Okay, so as we go, you are going to need to fill in that worksheet. Okay? So be glad you're in class today. All right. So Shakespeare, okay, dramatic devices and figurative language. You guys can look at that later. All right, so let's review figurative language. Okay, so there's 4 questions on that worksheet. Are you okay, child?
No.
What do you mean?
So we have to
break my hand.
Huh? No, you're answering them. There's 4 questions.
There's no 4 questions.
At the top it says PowerPoint questions.
Are we answering them or what?
Yes.
They don't say the question.
No. Hence, you guys are fine because you're in class, but it makes other people have to look at the PowerPoint.
Wait, so do we have to do it?
Yes.
So it's these 4 on this page.
Okay, so number 1. The line, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Best illustrates what type of figurative language? Okay, so put the answer.
What?
Is it a hyperbole, a metaphor, a simile, or a personification?
I don't know what any of those are. What's like a simile?
We're reviewing. Don't worry, I'll go back over here. Okay,
Right through-
so put what you think.
I can't even like interpret that.
Okay. What's light through yonder window breaks?
What
It is
yonder
the
window
east,
break?
and Juliet is the sun.
Wait, so what's a yonder window?
Yeah,
break?
what's a
Okay, I don't
yonder?
know what that
Like, what light through yonder window breaks? Like through the window.
What
Yonder
is-
means like a distance.
Wait.
Like, have you heard someone say high still all the time? Oh, hey, kiddo. I thought you were Aiden. So I was like, oh, so close. Yeah. All right, so we're go ahead and grab a computer camera. What can Oh, I'm Chris. All right, can I move on?
Wait, can we
We're
like?
going to talk about it.
Well, can we have the answer?
Yes, after we go through all 4. 2. The line, rise, fair sun, and kill the jealous moon, who is sick and pale with grief.
Oh, I know what
Best
it is.
illustrates what type of figurative language? Hyperbole, metaphor, simile, or personification? Okay. You okay?
Yeah.
You have better days.
I was choking on my finger.
On what? Thin mint? You got thin mints? Nathan's got thin mints. Do you put it in the freezer?
Yes.
I used to do that.
The freezer. Yeah.
Yeah, you eat them when they're like cold. Oh, it's so good.
Wait, where'd you get this from?
Hold on.
His mom's a Girl Scout.
Wait, what?
No.
Oh.
I'm assuming not.
I was like, since when?
She never left. Alright. 3. The line, you are as glorious as a heavenly angel, best illustrates what type of figurative language?
Are we just saying A, B, or T, or are we just
That's fine. You are as glorious as a heavenly angel.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Dolsky.
I was talking to Liz.
Oh.
Alright, do we all have an answer? 4. The line, the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks best illustrates what type of figurative language?
Huh?
The heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks. So
Wait,
it's
there were-
saying a heartache is compared to 1,000 shocks.
Wait,
I like
so
that
is it
one.
okay if we have like one
Yeah.
that's like the same answer?
Yeah. Alright. Who's confused?
I didn't see
Excellent.
it.
Okay. So let's review what these all are. Let's go back to number 1. Okay. So this is from Romeo and Juliet. You guys should have read this last year. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. No no one
They
probably...
only watched like 3 movies.
3 movies?
Yeah, the different like types of
Oh,
movies.
That's a lot of movies.
Well,
Okay, so he's... This is Romeo speaking, and he says the line... Or he says the line. He says, what light through yonder window breaks? Okay? So what light is coming through the window? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Okay? So he's comparing Juliet to what?
to the sun.
Okay, so let's go over these. Does anyone know what... Oh my gosh.
Feels bad.
Let me see if I can write. Yes, okay. Anyone remember what hyperbole is?
Huh?
Gosh.
It's exaggeration.
You may have heard it as hyperbole. I at one time had a sub come up to me in school last year and say, do you know what a hyperbole is? And I said, no, it's hyperbole. And he goes, no, it's hyperbole. I'm like, no, it's hyperbole. Okay, so you guys will never come up to someone and say, this is a hyperbole. Okay, we're gonna fix that right now. Alright, hyperbole. Kiara, do you know what it is? Okay, so a hyperbole, just like the word, is super extra, right? A hyperbole is extra like walk. That means whenever something is super over-exaggerated, it's a hyperbole, okay? So have you ever heard something like, I'm so hungry I can eat a horse?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a hyperbole. It's a super exaggerated overstatement.
What if they like actually want to
Okay.
get a horse?
Well, if you could, okay, so then if you also exaggerated, like, I'm so tired I haven't slept in like 11
What if
days.
you did say people don't want to get
I do that all the time, right? I over-exaggerate. That's a hyperbole. It's when you over-exaggerate something, okay? So is this an over-exaggeration? No, okay? So a hyperbole is an
exaggeration?
How do I spell that?
GG.
I think it's 2 G's.
Come on, English teacher.
You know, right? Like 2 X's or 2 G's. Alright, metaphor. This one you guys should all know metaphor. Eden, you know what a metaphor is? Yeah, it's a comparison.
So did I get that right?
Okay, good. So a metaphor is a comparison, but guess what? A simile is also a comparison. But there's something special about the
It's
simile.
like two unlike things, right? It's like if you compare like an animal to like a human.
It doesn't necessarily have to be 2 very different things. It could just be comparing 2 things. But with a simile, it's a comparison using like or as. Okay. So if you said, like, she is as beautiful as a rose, that would be a simile. Now, if I just called her a rose, Grant, if I just said, if I said the rose walked through the door, and I'm, like, comparing that to a girl or something like that, that's a metaphor, okay? So they're both comparing something, but a simile is using like or as, whereas a metaphor is just directly comparing. Got it? Metaphor and simile are probably the 2 that you're most familiar with and remember. Alright, personification. What's personification? Nate?
Isn't that when you compare or like not compare, but like when you I don't explain it, but it's like when you compare like a person to an animal.
Yes.
Like that.
So it's when you give human quality to something that is not human. So when you give human qualities to something not human. Okay, like if I said, like, for example, if I like threw the chair, if the chair like skidded and I was like, oh, the chair leapt to the other side of the room. A chair can't leap, right? That's like a human quality. So you're personifying the chair, giving it human qualities. Does that make sense? Okay, you could also do, like, who has a dog?
I have a dog.
Okay, so have you ever thought your dog was like smiling at you? Like, if you itch my dog's neck in a certain spot, he'll like kind of like grimace. That's the funniest thing ever. Okay, a dog can't smile, right? So if I was like, oh, my dog was smiling at me, or my dog was having a conversation with me, my dog can't talk, right? It doesn't have human qualities. Sometimes they'll seem like they're having a conversation with you. You're giving human qualities to something that's non-human. It could be an animal. It could be a desk. It could be this file folder. Does that make sense? Okay. Kind of a thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down for all 4 of those. Do I need to go over one of them a little more? Is there one that you didn't understand? Which one? Okay, so personification is one where when you describe something, you describe it so that it has human qualities. Okay, so you make it seem human-like, but it's not human. So I wouldn't be describing Kiara, I would be describing her computer, okay? And so if I'm typing, you guys know those people that like type like animals and they just and it's super loud and it's obnoxious, okay? If I said like, Kiara was typing so loud that her keyboard was screaming, her keyboard isn't actually screaming, only a human can do that, right? So I'm giving it human qualities even though it's not. Does that make sense? So by doing that, you're personifying the computer. So you're making something seem more human. Is that better? Yes? Okay. Alright. So now let's... Alright, so which one would this be? The line, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. What is it?
Metaphor.
Raise your hand if it's a metaphor. Correct! It's a metaphor! Okay, what is being compared?
It's just the sun and Juliet.
The sun and Juliet. Good. Okay, 2. Shh. The line, rise, fair sun, and kill the jealous moon, who is sick and pale with grief. Best illustrates what type of figure of language. Let's go here. B. Metaphor.
Could it be D?
Yes. Why would it be D?
Because it's sick and pale.
Yes, so he's just, first of all, he's saying rise, fair sun, like wake up, sun, and kill the jealous moon. Can the sun kill the moon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not literally. Okay? Who is sick and pale with grief? So it's saying the moon, Haley, is sick and pale with grief. Okay? Yes, you're giving it human qualities. A moon cannot be sick or pale or have grief. Does that make sense?
It's not A.
Hyperbole. You could say it's a, remember, that's why it says best illustrates. Right? You could say, yeah, it's hyperbole, it's being dramatic about how the sun is pale, right? But the best one would be personification. Okay, 3. The line, you are as glorious as a heavenly angel, best illustrates what type of figurative language, Grant Taylor? So what's hyperbole?
Exaggeration.
Okay, so that could be an exaggeration, but the best one to choose, look at the comparison.
B.
Well, think it's a comparison, correct? Now is it using like or as?
Yeah.
Where's the as?
After glorious,
Okay, so what's being compared?
the person to the angel.
Yes. Okay, so is it a metaphor or a simile?
A simile.
It's a simile because you're using. If you just said you are a glorious angel, Aiden, say with me. If I just said you are a glorious angel, metaphor. When I add the as or a like, you are as glorious as a heavenly angel, simile. You are as glorious, or you are glorious like a heavenly angel, simile. Okay? Those two small words change the entire use of figurative language. Good? Okay. Last one. The heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks best illustrates what type of figurative language? Hyperbole. Okay, that's an exaggeration. It's comparing a heartache to 1,000 natural shocks. Okay, is a heartache like 1,000 electrical volts going through your body? No. Okay, you might be sad, but no. Alright, at your guys' age, it's the end of the world, I know. Okay? I was there once. Heartache, Aiden. Heartache. Okay? So, we all should have written our answers in that worksheet. Have you all done that? Okay, let's move on. Alright. Okay, I need you guys to focus. I'll wait till I have eyeballs. Okay. Look at this word. It's soliloquy. Say it with me, kids. Soliloquy. Soliloquy. Excellent. So proud. Okay. A soliloquy is a device often used in drama where a character relates his or her thoughts and feelings to him or herself into the audience without addressing any other characters. Okay. So a soliloquy is when the actor steps up to the front in the drama and is kind of talking to him or herself and addressing the audience. No other characters. Does that make sense? So what would be the purpose of that in drama? To better understand the character, right? Okay, you can kind of get their inner thoughts and feelings. just like in a book or a movie when the actor is kind of talking about their feelings, kind of like either behind the scenes or you kind of are talking to themselves. That was the way that they did it in plays back in the day. Okay? Okay. I was
supposed to be writing.
Yes. So in that first box, it says, what is a soliloquy? Okay, in the box to the right, you should probably answer that. Okay. So what is a soliloquy? It's when the actor steps up to the front and addresses either him or herself or the audience. Okay, he or she is not addressing any other character in the play. We can get to know the character a lot more and get to know their inner thoughts this way.
So what's that?
So there's one right there. So there's Romeo's soliloquy in Act 2, Scene 2 of Romeo and Juliet. It's when he's kind of outside her window and he's like talking, and she's like in the background, right? And he's addressing the audience and he says this. So we're actually, hold on. Yeah, we're gonna watch it. Okay. From the movie. We're gonna watch an example of one. Are we good? Like a fairy?
Wait, so when it says like without addressing other people, is that just like she's alone?
Yeah, so the character is going to be directly addressing the audience rather than another character.
Super Sadowski.
Yeah.
It says, how does a soliloquy differ from...
Well, we'll get there.
Do we copy that?
No.
No?
This is more on soliloquy. Okay. Alright, so obviously the character is usually alone on stage, right? If it's just that character talking. Have you guys ever been to a play? Okay, so sometimes, like, the people in the back will freeze, and, like, everyone's, like, frozen, how they are, right? And then the person's talking during their soliloquy. They're kind of, like, freezing in time. That's one way it's done. Alright, who's seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Okay. So I'm going to turn off the lights real quick. I'm going to pause this because okay. An aside, so we have, let's go from the beginning. A soliloquy is when the character has a conversation with his or herself, right? So they're kind of like talking to themselves almost to give or convey their inner thoughts to the audience. Then we have a monologue, which is a conversation where one character is giving a speech to another. And then we have an aside. Aside, say with me, I know this is rough. An aside is a dramatic device in which a character speaks to the audience. By convention, the audience is to realize that the character's speech is unheard by the other characters on the stage. It may be addressed to the audience expressly or represent an unspoken thought. Okay? So the aside, so we have soliloquy, which is when the character is speaking to him or herself. Okay? Then we have the monologue, which is character to character. Then we have aside, which is just speaking directly to the audience. Okay? So it's not like an inner conversation, it's just speaking. Okay? So it might give context. It's like if something is happening, a person might come on stage, or a character that might come on stage and come up and say what is happening. Okay? Like, you know how the chorus, sometimes at the beginning of the scene, they'll kind of like give context for what is happening? That could be an aside. Okay? Do we understand the difference? Yes or no? Head nod or head no? I understand all three. Okay. So, you guys know that. So, soliloquies, the past and the future. So, in Shakespeare's time, soliloquies were frequently used in poetic dramas. Dramas and prose tend to use a more realistic speaking style and rarely, if ever, feature them. The plays of Shakespeare feature many soliloquies. Okay? Have you ever heard, or heard someone say, to be or not to be? Okay, that's a famous Shakespeare speech. It's a famous Shakespeare soliloquy. Okay? It's probably the most famous one in the English language. So, which of the following is not... Is there questions on the worksheet for this? Okay, good. So, which of the following is not a characteristic of a soliloquy? It is heard by the audience. It is heard by another character. So the character relates a thought or feeling, or it is not heard by another character. Haley Cardoza. Which is not... What, which one? Yes, it is not heard by another character. Okay, it's a conversation with him or herself. Good. So, we're not doing this. So on your worksheet, what kinds of things does the character talk about in a soliloquy? What is the audience? Have you all finished this? Okay. What kinds of things does the character talk about in a soliloquy? So we talked about the purpose of it, right? What was the purpose of the soliloquy?
Wait, are we answering the last one?
To convey inner feelings or thoughts, right? That's probably the main way to use a soliloquy. So, what kinds of things would a character talk about in a soliloquy? Feelings or thoughts. Okay. Yeah.
I'm confused on the second class.
Who is the audience of the soliloquy, or who is the soliloquy spoken to? Themselves, right? Him or herself. Who is the audience? Technically, so who is, think about this. Obviously, who's the audience of a play? The people there, right? But this is asking who is the audience of the soliloquy. Okay? So who is the audience that the person speaking the soliloquy is trying to get to?
Well,
It's themselves, yes.
Their thoughts.
Yes. Okay?
And then it says who was on stage or so we make character.
That who's on stage on the soliloquy.
Yeah, so the person speaking, right? It could be other characters as well, but usually it's just him or herself. All right. So when